Well. I just finished my night out, where I was going with a night game intention, with practicing my cold approaches skills, practicing conversational skills, and everything like that. And I have to say, it was fucking great experience. I just wanted to share how fun, um, how incredible was it, because it's definitely worth to. So I recently started to go on the random meetups at the app called Meetup, where people are gathering together, and by picking the ones that are most attended within amount of people, going to train those skills. So within like 2 weeks, I am able to observe huge increase of the skill, which is a proof that it doesn't take actual years of experience. It's just sometimes it's about pushing yourself beyond something that you was your bar before. So I'm super happy about that. But today was fucking incredible. I felt like I connected with everyone in the room. It was like 30 people. I was able to, one by one, to connect with everyone, to conduct group interactions by splitting attention among all of them in a proper way. And yeah, just to have fun. And I want to make perhaps like 2-3 important notes about it, because first of all, I like to compare a lot of this type of going out with gym exercises, because there's a bunch of similarities which is pretty interesting to observe, especially if you want to go down this path. One of them is like, perhaps you might think, wow, going out, it's fun, you're supposed to be excited about it. So actually, whenever I go by myself, whenever I go with the intention of practicing those skills without necessarily being surrounded by people in the first place, I experience the same feelings which are my company whenever I go to a gym. I'm supposed to go to a gym in the morning. So you start to have those beach voice thoughts in your head that maybe today is not the day, maybe you're supposed to skip it. You start to feel a little bit of anxiety whenever you approach the avenue. You start to feel, generally speaking, intrusive thoughts which role is to separate you from achieving, from taking an action. What do you want to achieve? So that was a huge intake for me. Same thing happening like with the gym after the whole event. So first there's an anxiety when I'm starting to be around people, when I start to interact. It's actually fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy staying in this environment. I feel like this is a good place to be in this time, in this moment, in many ways. But perhaps I'm gonna talk about that other time. And after my event is finished, I observe huge increase in my mood, in my confidence. Also conversational stuff like eloquency, like fluency. I'm speaking to the camera right now without an anxiety. I'm walking in the middle of the street. I wouldn't be able to do that 2 years ago. So that's a huge observation. So I encourage you to treat it as a pure exercise, and to eliminate those bitch thoughts in your head, and push through this anxiety in the first place, which gonna allow you to receive the best of everything which is positive and what we crave in this within taking this type of social action, because it's just worth it. So I'm sharing personal experience. Perhaps it might work for you as well. I assume you're already going to the gym, at least into some on some level. So compare going out to a gym. Compare it as an exercise, not necessarily as a going out in a party with the partying intention, So to close this story, because that was like a technical aspect, I just want to encourage you by sharing what I experienced today. That was super fun. Like mentioned before, I connected with everyone. I felt like I'm taking everything from those interactions today, which was super pleasant to discover that I'm already on a level that allows me to do that. I heard this sentence before, which is very interesting, that social anxiety actually doesn't exist because it's a default mode of everyone, and there is something into it. Whenever you start working on those things, you actually might observe, after you gain some skills, obviously, you actually might observe that you are not in a position to that you are not that doesn't achieve the standard level, but you achieve level that allow you to kind of be to set the bar for the rest of the people. I'll give you an example. I used to be very anxious about going by myself in a public transport, not like in some weird ass way. I was just feeling anxiety. So one of the ways to fix it was always headphones, which I observe all the time. People are blocking themselves from surroundings by headphones, from a conversation, from hearing what does surround them, in many ways. Gym also. Sometimes it prevents me from having a conversation just because sometimes everyone are fucking blocked out with the sound and in their phones. But I understand them. I was the same person. So after you develop this skill set, you start to observe that this is not something normal to push those social boundaries, because everyone are in this social anxiety state, which is default. So since the bar is hanging very low, it's not actually difficult to achieve the level with a little bit of action that allows you to lead a conversation, to stand out from a crowd. You should try it. Okay. After I left today's avenue with those 30 people, I was in such a good social flow, and everything was going so smoothly that I decided that I still have like an hour before I'm gonna have to go home to have a decent sleep. That I was just going around and looking for adventure, for a new avenue, for some new place with the other people, or some vividness into it. And I was just going around. All the bars were closed. I even went to one bar which was already closed, but ladies welcomed me into, and they were like, yeah, we're closing, we're already going home, so I didn't want to interrupt. But even there, were okay with the fact that I was going into the fucking closed place just to have a conversation with them. And yeah, I almost stayed there, but I literally didn't want to interrupt their closing pattern. So yeah, it happened actually before. So people are as long as you have a great energy and you develop proper vibe, people are extremely open until the level that I never would think it's possible. So I was walking down the street, and by looking for adventure, I found this place which was super random, somewhere in the corner of the street. And there was like a group of the people who I observed through the window. They were playing on the machines. They had some synthesizers, they had some pads, those colorful buttons for music production, and DJing. Yeah, I got curious. I asked. It wasn't a bar. It was like a private place, and I talked with the guys who were standing outside of this place. I asked a little bit, and they invited me into. And I just had like an hour and a half of complete random music improvisation on a fucking great interesting machines, like old edited tools that allowed people to play, and some drum pads. Yeah, hour and a half of music improvisation with the random people who I just met on the corner. We had a great chemistry, we had a great time, and I wouldn't be able to experience it if I just wouldn't look what is gonna be around the corner, just from curiosity. Instead of going home, I was like, yeah, let me take this one more bite of social interaction on a quality level. Just because I pushed a little bit, I'm gonna have a memory that is gonna stack with me as a one of the greatest memories in exploring Amsterdam. So yeah, it's really great tool, and it's really enjoyable, and I encourage you to do the same. Just to look for something random to push yourself, because you never know what is around the corner. And if you push through this anxiety, which I bet you have, you should know that this is normal, that everyone are having it, everyone are experiencing it. And if you just allow yourself to push a little bit forward through it, life is gonna be beautiful, man. I'm very excited about upcoming years. As someone who used to grow very antisocial and preferred always to sit in a room instead of going out, discovering how fun it is to go out by myself and having possible adventure around every corner makes me very excited about upcoming years. And I wish you the same. I wish you the same. I wish you to discover that if you're not in this place yet. And we are in this together. We're gonna go forward. We're gonna enjoy life. Life is beautiful, man. Let's go. Let's do it. Peace.